Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Pitstop podcast. I'm Jaco van der Merwe, joined by Charles Bosch and Mark Jones. Mark, on the menu this week, you had the privilege to drive it, the updated or the all-new or the latest Renault Triber. First launch in 2019, updated version now. You say it is the second model after the new Duster to incorporate that Renault identity. What I can remember from the first one, also sub 4 meters, the Indian tax exemption.
Stays the same.
Yes, very clever inside with the seating arrangements and all the configurations you can do. But the big problem was sort of the engine and the drivetrain, which wasn't all that lacquer. We drove it at the coast during the first one. I believe it was worse up here, and you again drove it down at the coast. And yeah, let's talk about the bad and the good. What didn't you like, obviously, apart from the engine, and what did you like about it?
Well, the weird part was our exposure to the product was very limited. I did a total of 11 kilometers of driving. So it was more about looking at it, and it looks quite good.
It looks very good.
I quite like the styling. It's certainly not the ugliest little car around. I think it's pretty cool for what it is. But the drive was 11 kilometers at sea level, and you kind of get the feeling that Renault didn't want you to spend too much time in it because, it's got 52 kilowatts. It's never going to be fast, but it's the way it delivers it. It's not great. The gearbox is as notchy as all hell.
Yes.
And the clutch bite point is very high. So it honestly makes for quite an interesting drive, and you've got to get used to it. But in saying that, once you get down on the highway, it does 120 k's an hour, no problem. So it'll get the job done. It's just not a sort of pleasant experience. I see it more as a commercial sort of Uber.
Almost a community taxi.
Correct. Yeah. And it's popular. KZN is one of the most popular cars. You see them everywhere. For some unknown reason, KZN loves a Renault Triber, and there's lots of them around. So if you understand that aspect of it, it does exactly what it says it should do. So it's hard to fault in terms of it's got 7 seats, it's there to transport people, and it's priced well.
Charles, we've got no more Datsun Go Plus.
No.
Which makes this the cheapest 7-seater there.
Yeah, so we all know that underneath it's a Renault Kwid. It's a Renault Kwid platform, which then by literal extension is a Renault Kiger and a Nissan Magnite. They all share the same platform. They're all made in the same factory in India. And we also know that there was a turbo version, just on what Mark was talking about. A turbo version was exhibited with this 1-liter engine in the Delhi Auto Show a couple of years ago, but it never came to fruition. I can only assume because of costs. Because the whole point of that is it's a low-cost little transport, as you guys mentioned. And yeah, look, it's not perfect. I mean, I had it on test not long after it was launched. And as a product devised, perfect. Very well devised, great little thing, but it's been badly executed by the engine. I actually refer to it as a flawed little maestro, which it is. And we might be overcritical again with it, but again, your average person who buys one of these things, they don't care. They just want to transport 7 people, have all the amenities,
Correct.
And that's it, end of story. And have something that's reasonably fuel efficient and cost effective. That's it.
I don't think necessarily, my personal opinion, that it's the engine as such's fault. Because there's that little 1-liter in a lot of the products where he doesn't feel the way this one does and the gear shifts. I think flawed genius is a very good way of describing it because of squeezing all that space into a sub 4 meter car.
Yeah.
That was one of the things I said initially, how they move the engine right to the tip of the front.
Yeah.
That little small engine compartment. And I think that affects the whole weighting of the car, especially with the shifting.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's the end, and I don't think you can double the engine size or output there. It's not going to solve that problem.
No.
And we also said initially, hey, maybe the turbo, and then when we heard the turbo's going to be no more, we said that I don't think that would have solved that little problem. It's like it's its own little problem.
Yeah, basically, because as that gearbox, it's very weird the way it works. So after you shift, you've got this horrible dead spot.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing. Power then climbs, then you shift up or you shift down, and it's exactly the same thing. The car goes into almost a
It
lump
lurches.
mode.
It lurches all
Does
the
it
time.
still have the digital rev counter with the lights? that
It's got a
comes on?
completely new. It's got a
Is
brand new digital
okay.
cluster.
The previous one had the little lights.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
yes.
you planned your shift to perfection there. Because too early and you're dead.
Yeah, completely.
And too high and you're dead.
Yeah, it's thank goodness we only drove the manual for 11Ks. They've got that silly automatic manual
AMT.
And we drove that in the recent Tata. And I mean, that is just, if the gear, you think the manual's a bit notchy, that's an horrific choice. I can't believe many people would buy that. I mean, I don't know what the numbers are, they didn't say. But Triber is also popular. Again, we talk like quid. Triber is popular. I mean, it starts at 218,000 Rand, 999. At that price, you can't fault it.
No.
It goes up to 259 with everything. And I mean, you got to say, if you've got a little transport business or you're running community stuff and you're putting 7 people in doing 50 runs like I do in KZN, 218 grand is where you want to pay.
It's also cheaper than the equivalent Suzuki Ertiga,
Well,
Toyota,
that's the thing, and
Rumion.
that's also very popular.
Yes.
That Toyota, and it's winning the fight against its production sibling, the Rumion.
Correct.
Because that's a very sensitive price point,
Correct.
and this one comes in below all
Way
of that.
beyond, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, 218 for a 7-seater, which you're gonna apply commercially.
That's why it sells. I mean, I wouldn't have one as a family 7-seater because we're spoiled, mostly. Most people don't. They have a little Triber because they're doing something commercially. There's some sort of transport involved.
Yeah.
I think a very small percentage, 1% of people might own a Triber because they want to put 4 kids and whatever. And because obviously when the seats are up and the modularity, geez, if that's a word, of how those seats fold and what you can put in,
It's brilliant.
It's well done.
Yeah, like the one mode is called surfboard mode.
Yeah, surfboard mode.
Where the 2 seats in
Tri-
front of each other, and then they seat
Yeah.
on there. What other car can you do?
Tribe, camper or something. They've
Yeah,
got everywhere. It's brilliant.
It's almost suited perfectly to family and a good lifestyle. Ironically, that's almost not what it's used for. It's used commercially. Put as many people as you can in, which should be 7, and a little bit of daily luggage. But you won't put 7 people and luggage in it because there's no space.
No.
You'll put 4 or 5 people in it and put some luggage in it. So it's for transporting people. It should be called the transporter, but that's what it's there for.
Oh, let's not go
No,
there.
no.
Not the combi.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that there's also a paddle van version of the car available, of the Triber available.
Yes, the Express.
The Express has a full-on commercial vehicle.
Yes, we saw one. We couldn't drive it, but it's there. It's got a cage in the back, which offers a fair amount of space. And that's very popular as well. As you see, all of them are doing it. Hyundai are doing it, Kia are doing it. They're making these little cars and putting cages in so that little businesses can run these things because...
And also that little space left vacant by the NP 1400.
NP200.
NP 200.
That one,
Listen,
yeah.
1400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No half-tonners.
Yeah, there's no half-tonners, so that gap is open. And I think the only little one is the Suzuki
Eco. Yeah.
But if you don't want that little loafy, half-loaf little looking thing, then the people are doing these cars and they're buying them. So
Yeah.
Triber's got you covered. People moving, cargo moving, and it's priced, except for the top of the range, it's 250 grand under for all of them, except the one model. That even the Express is 249,999.
Yes,
So then it gets you, I think you pay 20 odd grand, and they put a hectic roof rack on the top, which you can then load about 3 stories high, and get pulled
Which it
over
will
by the traffic authorities.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's probably going to happen, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it from us this week with a new Renault Triber. Like we said, it looks good and it serves its purpose.
Exactly, it does. That's what I said at the launch. It does what it says on the box. That's
Literally
why I
the
think
box.
they weren't worried about long drives and all that. It says, here's the car, it presents itself. Love it or hate it, we sell it for people who need transportation.
Correct.
And if it ever gets that turbo, we'll get back to you.
Well, we'll wait on that. Maybe
don't
one day.
bet your house on it, yeah. But
No.
anyway, thank you for listening to us this week. Please tune in again next week to the Pitstop podcast. Cheers.